Hello guys, it's Shrimp Time here, and today we got another interesting topic to talk about. We are going to set up a tank. Of course, a tank for Caridina shrimps, but we are going to set up an anoxic filtration tank. And I know that you might not know what is anoxic filtration system, so stay tuned and I will try to explain it to you. So, I don't know if all of you remember from the beginning of this hobby and from the start of shrimp keeping that most of people and most of soil manufacturers will advise you keep a thick layer of soil. Keep a layer of 4, 5, 6 centimeters of soil. Add special products on the bottom of the soil, and this is how you will keep your shrimp healthy. I think that I will make another video about thin and thick layer of soils in future, but today I would like to try to answer the question why all of these manufacturers were advising to keep a thick layer of soil. So the thick layer of soil can absorb a lot of waste in the tank. The obvious thing is that in a thick layer of soil, you will be able to notice the denitrification process. Unfortunately, during that process, you not only get rid of nitrogen from the tank, but you can also produce some waste bioproducts that can kill your pets if you move the soil. So to get that denitrification process in thick layer of soil, you need anaerobic environment. So the environment where you won't get any oxygen. But there's a person, Dr. Novak, who came out with this idea that you can do this a bit better, that you can do a filtration with a thick layer of soil with special add-ons under the filtration, but with this type of, he called it plenum, with empty space under the soil. So I've decided to check a bit his idea. The main idea is to keep plants which will eat the ammonia from the soil, and thanks to this special filtration to get this denitrification process without the cast. And to do that, in his opinion, you need two things or three things that you can see on this video. You need an ion source in the soil, you need anoxic environment, and you need special bacteria. So for adding the ion, I decided to use special rock, special fertilizers for the plants, very similar to ADA power sand. I think it's called like that. And these rocks should contain both nutrients and ion. On the other hand, I also use Montmorillonite. It's a clay that also contains quite high amount of ions. It should be about 4 to 5%. And as you can see, I also developed this self-coat plenum. This filtration is a bit different from the undergravel filtration system, because the amount of air that will drive this filtration will be very low. And the reason for that is so that I will be able to achieve slowly water moving through whole of this layer of the soil. Another idea behind this filtration system is that clay generally have possibilities to bring to absorb the ammonia inside the clay. Yeah, it's quite high and difficult chemistry, and I won't explain all of that, but it's all about the ions being pulled by the level of soil. According to the researches he made, also the lower pH should help this process. The reason why he developed this method is to get rid of nitrogen from the tank and to make a low maintenance tank. So this tank shouldn't require so big amount of water changes, should have stable conditions, and according to all the Dr. Novak says, according to all of his information in his tanks, he will keep the nitrate level near zero. So it is almost phenomenal, almost great habitat for the shrimps. And I would like to try it. The thing that will enchant this process is using plants. The plants that will not only eat nitrates from the soil, but they will also feed on the ammonia, because the plants absorb ammonia much more easier than nitrate. So this is the whole idea of this tank. As you can see, it's 50 liters tank. I also used in this tank some of a driftwood, because in my opinion, in long term, the driftwood might help with keeping the low pH in the tank. This tank is designed for my boa shrimps, so it can be a costly experiment if it won't work. But if it works, I think that this might be very, very good tank. And I decided that maybe I would try to make a shrimp tank look a little bit nicely. So the products that I use in this video is ADA version 2 aquarium soil without using the fertilizers, the fertilizer pellets attached to the soil. I've also used Montmorillonite from Qualdrop, and I will not use in this tank any type of bacteria, because I would like to see the way that this process will develop. I would like to see if it will work finally. According to information from the website of Dr. Novak, I think that this method needs about 2 months to start working. So those bacteria that will do the denitrification process needs longer time to cycle. I think that I will try to add the shrimps after a month, and I will see how it will go. At the start there will be low-grade shrimps, and then we will see if it's okay. So this is the whole tank and the way the tank looks like. We got some carpeting plants, we got some plants in the background. I wanted to keep the foreground of the tank clear, because I want to see the shrimps during the feeding for the good shrimp selection. I also made a little mistake during whole of this process, because in my opinion I shouldn't use the sponge. I should try to cover all of the bottom in the tank to make this process work. What is also interesting about this process, that you can watch some of the breeders that also make this type of soil, this type of filtration, even if they don't know the science behind it. For example, in most of Vin Shrimp's tanks, according to my knowledge, he is using thick layer of the soil. He's also adding some powders, the bacteria powders on the bottom of the soil. So there is a high possibility that he uses similar methodology, or he uses his system with under-gravel filtration. So if the flow isn't so strong in that under-gravel filtration, it can work. And here you can see my mistake, the sponge getting out of the soil, but I will think how to use that sponge in the future. And you can see how slow flow from the under gravel filtration there is. The reason for this air pump, for this airlift from the under gravel filtration is to achieve very, very, very slow water movement through the filtration. And I hope that this setup will work okay. I will let you know if it's okay. So guys, if you like my work, you can try to support me here on YouTube. I would appreciate that because I'm developing another breeding facility and all of your support will help me. And thank you for your time. Till the next video, keep on shrimping.